Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right, we are recording. Okay, perfect. Well, great. So what we're looking at here is the landing page for Lot Metrics. This is called the Lot View. It's a real-time interactive dashboard. It allows you to track your inventory in real time and get kind of a bird's eye view of the dealership here. So one thing I will point out is just the technology that Lot Metrics uses, very similar to what Uber, Amazon uses. So it's geotag technology. So there's no hardware, there's no dongle or Bluetooth beacon. What we're actually tracking is the cellular signal of the device that a user is using when they move the vehicle. So kind of like when you're watching like an Uber Eats delivery coming to your home there, you can track that. It's just tracking that cell phone that's logged into the app. Now from that, we're able to get a lot of information from that. We can pin it on this overlay here so we know where it's parked at right now. Anytime it's moved, we're able to track how long it takes to complete that move, who completed it, and then update any pictures or any type of issues with it as well. So that is the technology that it uses. And what we're looking at here is the overlay of a test dealership here. And all these circles with these numbers inside of it are called clusters. And what it means is, if we look at this one down here, it means there's 4 vehicles that are very close together. There's no way to kind of graphically represent them from this far out. But if I zoom in a little bit here, it's going to break out. And then we're going to see different types of units here. So these actual circles here are the units where they're pinned. The different colors, you can tell by this key here, are the different designations. So we have blue circles are going to be sales, service screen. If I turned the rental on, those are going to be yellow and storage. So what you can do is you can hover over this pin right here, and it's going to give you a little bit of information. It's going to give you the stock number, tag number. If I click on it here, it's going to give me a little bit more information. It's going to give me a picture of it, a little bit more information on the data of the unit. And then if I go to unit, it's going to take me to the main profile of this unit here. So again, it's going to show you exactly where it's at on the lot right here. It's going to have some more information here regarding the vehicle, whatever is in the DMS that's pulled through. It's going to populate these fields. And then you're able to view the last 2 years worth of data for that vehicle. So anytime it was moved, any pictures that were taken, if there was damage, that's all going to be notated here. And you're able to recall the last 2 years worth of data. So this is what's really nice about Lot Metrics for liability mitigation. If you have a customer coming in that's claiming damage when a unit was there, just as long as the team is taking pictures before and after each move, you can go in and take a look. It's time stamped and kind of prove that that damage was or wasn't caused on the lot there. So this is the main spot where your drivers, once they're completing what are called assignments, and this assignment is essentially when somebody selects a vehicle and an individual to move it. Whenever they're done with it, this is where they're going to be adding any information to it under what's called a life cycle event. So really easy to do. Once they hit this button, there's going to be 4 different types that they can create. First one's an issue. That's going to be when there's damage on the vehicle. So what they could do is they could upload any pictures if they damaged it and just write a note in here. And then anytime an issue is created, any designated recipients that you set up are going to get an email notifying you that there was an issue. The other items they can do is simply create a note or add photo and video right here. And what's nice is that you can use your camera right on your phone or tablet to upload those, or you can access your photo library if you'd like as well. And you can do multiple uploads at a time there. So on this page here, you have a couple different actions. You could simply deactivate the unit if it was no longer on the lot there. You could pick up the unit and drop it if, say, you had to get something moved real quick, or you could go ahead and create an assignment from here as well. So that can lead us into our next page, which is the assignments page, and we can talk about that. But before we do that, I'll pause and ask if you had any questions on the lot view here.
Nope.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I would say the assignments page is probably where the majority of the work takes place in Lot Metrics. And again, an assignment is when you select a person, a group of drivers, or you just leave it open for any driver to pick up and drop off a vehicle. So we're looking at a manager view here on the assignments grid. You get a lot of information. You're able to view the 4 different types of assignment statuses. You have completed assignments. So pretty self-explanatory. These are assignments that have been completed, and it's always going to display the last 15. Once you get past that, it's just going to have a paginator down here where you can go and look at further historical records. You're going to have assignments in progress. that is when somebody has claimed an assignment and they're actively completing it. An open assignment, that's when you select a vehicle to be moved, but you don't assign a driver. You're just saying, hey, I need this to be moved. Any driver can go in and claim that assignment. Once they do that, it's going to move out from open to under my assignments. At that point, that's user specific. Only that driver can see that assignment. No other individuals there can claim that assignment. So what we'll do while we're on this page here is just go really quick about the new API integration that we just got set up here. So what we'll do is we'll take a look and just how that works. Really easy, it's seamless. So let's say there is a unit that we want to put an assignment on, but it's not in LotMetrics yet. It's only in Infinity. So what you would do, you would just query the unit right here. This is the master search up here. The first thing it's going to do is look for the inside the local LotMetrics database. Say, hey, is this unit here? We're going to bring it up. If not, it's going to allow you to pull that via Motility's API. So when I do that, it's instantly going to recognize it, and boom, it's right here. You can see under the vehicle lifecycle, it pulled it from the DMS right there, and it was able to pull in all this information as well. So that's what's really neat about that. Your sales units, your service units, prior to the API integration, you had to wait overnight to get your inventory to feed into LotMetrics, and then you had to manually key in your service units. That's all gone now. That manual process is gone. You simply just query the unit right here. That triggers the API call to pull that unit in. So really easy, really nice there. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and create an assignment here. So you can do it from a couple different places. You can do it right from this hot button, or you can do it right on the assignments page here. So when I hit create assignment, it's going to bring up the main assignments task grid here. A lot of information. First thing you're going to do, regardless of the type of assignment that you're going to do, is just select the vehicle that you want to move. Now this is a smart search. So if I type in just a couple digits of a stock number, it's going to recall anything that matches that criteria. So if I click on this guy here, and that is in a different market, let's go ahead and pull a couple of these different guys here. You can do multiple ones at a time. I'm going to find one that's a little closer to home there instead of out over here. Let's see here. Let's take a look. All right, let's see where this guy is. Okay, perfect. So we're right there. So let's say we want to move this vehicle right here. It lets me know, hey, this is the starting point of where it's at right now. So you have three different types of assignments that we offer now. The first one is a drop at geolocation. And what you can do is you can actually drag and drop a destination point, basically allowing your driver to see on the map where you want him or her to drop that unit. To do so, you'd simply just click and drag your destination point. So right now, this is the starting point. This is where I want that to be dropped off right there. So that's one type of assignment. That's the geolocation. The next one is a drop at lot location. So this allows you to select a certain zone and space inside your lot there. So if you grid out your lot and you say you have like a sales lot, and then you have individual parking spaces in there, we can upload that into the front end, and then you can recall that and select it during an assignment. So in this example, I'm going to move that same unit, but I want to put it in zone 1, and then the space in there, I want to put in space 25. So again, that requires you to have your lot gridded out already. If you don't, you would probably just use the drop at geolocation. Nice thing about this, if you do use the lot table inside Infinity, this zone and space will actually write back to the DMS and update it. So then you always got up-to-date information of where that unit's parked at. The last type of assignment that we have is a free drop. This is one that just kind of overwrites that map or the lot location. It allows you to put it anywhere you want, and you would just put a note inside the free form field here just saying, hey, you know, get this out of the bay, put it anywhere. I just need it out of there right now. So that's one to use kind of in a pinch, and you're not having to use any of those other types of features there. So we'll just go back to this one here, and we'll say that we were going to do the drop at geolocation. Let's go ahead and select that vehicle again here. All right, perfect. So let's say we want to take this guy over here. Next thing you do is you would put in your employees, or you can leave it wide open. So again, if I left it wide open, this would create an open assignment that any of your drivers, once they're logged into LotMetrics, they can go and claim that. So we'll do that for this one, and we'll come back to talk about porter groups here in a second. Now, the next option here is customer pickup. This is pretty cool. If you toggle this on here, what this does is it'll auto deactivate the unit based on a countdown timer that you set. It can be 15 minutes up into a month. This really helps you manage your active inventory in there. If you're not going in and deactivating units all the time, you're going to have a huge inflated number of units on the ground that aren't physically there. So whenever a customer is picking up a sales vehicle or picking up a service, you would want to click this toggle on. And then again, once they complete that assignment, it's going to be auto deactivated there. This right here is a free-form field. So I'm just going to type in some information in here just so you can see that it's displayed on the task view. And then finally, we have the urgency. We have normal, high, and urgent. This is just going to change the color of the assignment to allow your drivers to say, oh yeah, there's an urgent, this is red, I need to get that. So we'll put this one here at urgent. I'm going to submit this. And now we're going to see this under the open assignments here. So it gives you a lot of information here. It's going to have any information from that description there. It's going to let the driver know who created it, and then also what type of assignment it is as well. So when you click into it here, they're going to see a little bit more information. Now, this test unit and database is up here. I'm down here in Florida. That's why it has my location over here. But again, it's going to give them some more information, let them know, hey, this is the drop point that we selected. It's going to give them the latitude and longitude of where they need to drop that. And this is where they would go in and pick up that assignment. So what I'll do real quick is just, I'm going to log in here as a driver just to show you what it looks like from their perspective there. So if I go back under here now, we're going to see that it's more of a truncated view here on the driver view, that assignments in progress and completed assignments, they don't see that because there's no reason for a driver to need to see that. It's going to take up valuable real estate on their tablet. So all they're going to see is open assignments and my assignments. So again, from their perspective, they're going to get that same information. They would come in here. They'd be able to get any more information regarding what type it is and where the latitude and longitude is. If they wanted to complete this assignment, they'd simply claim it. And just to show you real quick, if I go back to the assignments, it's now gone from open. So no other drivers can see this. It's under my assignments for Aaron here. All right, so once he hits pickup unit, it's going to let you know, hey, you're a little far away from the unit here because it's tracking my geolocation now. But as soon as you hit proceed anyways, we're moving. So LotMetrics is tracking this assignment right now. From the moment that we picked it up till he drops it at the location over here, it's going to be tracking it, getting metrics, anything that you need up until they hit drop unit. Once they do that, that is going to complete the assignment. Now, what it's saying here is that, hey, you're pretty far away from that drop point. It's not a hard stop. You can still manually drop it anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and drop at my location. And now that assignment is complete. If I go to the unit here, we're going to see some information here. It's going to let you know, hey, there was an assignment done here. It took a few seconds. This is who picked it up here. And again, if I was a driver, I would go in and just add that picture right under here. And you can also see that we have this set to auto deactivate in a day over here. Again, you can do that from 15 minutes up until a month. So that's where the majority of the work is done, is people with sales or manager roles inside LotMetrics. They're creating those assignments, kind of managing the lot and the inventory. And then the drivers are really going to live on this assignments page all day. And as assignments come in, they're going to claim them and execute them. So that's about it for assignments. Any questions on that?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, perfect. So the next ones, we can kind of just go over a little quicker here. We'll go over the inventory page here. This one's pretty self-explanatory. It's just going to have an inventory grid with all of your inventory listed here. Now you have some pretty smart searches on here. So you can search by make, manufacturer, year, customer last name. You can recall all that right here. And you can also filter out by the designation, the status and condition. And you've got two actions on the inventory grid. The first one's an edit button. So when I click on here, it's going to allow you to update some pictures on the main carousel. You can actually go in and change the designation. Let's say this was a sales unit and it's now going to go into storage. You can simply hit that and then save it. And you can deactivate the unit from right here as well. The other action that's on this page is just a lookup button. And that's going to take you back to that one page we were looking at before, which is the unit profile, where you can go see all the history for the vehicle right there. One other thing I want to show you on the inventory page is this last scan feature here, which is really nice. So LotMetrics does use barcode technology. So when you first start using LotMetrics, you would program and print out the barcodes and stick them on the vehicle. So whenever a driver approaches a vehicle and they're going to claim the assignment, they would simply scan it with the tablet or the phone. That's going to confirm that it's the correct vehicle. It's going to recall it in the system here, and then they can go complete those assignments. Now, what's nice is that scan is captured right here under this column. So what it's going to populate with is the username of who scanned it, the time, and then the latitude, longitude. It's going to be right here. So that's great for kind of floor planning auditing. If you have somebody coming in, you're able to go in and say, hey, I'm going to click on it. It was scanned Tuesday. This is exactly where it's at. And also helps you kind of with exceptions reporting. You can sort and filter by last scan. Let's say you have 10 units that you've gone around, you scanned a whole lot, there was no action on that. It's probably a good chance those aren't there anymore. So it helps you kind of narrow down what you've got to go and clean up there. The next page here is just a messaging feature, which is built inside LotMetrics. It allows drivers to kind of communicate back and forth instead of having to go back on a radio. And then next we have the employee screen. The screen's pretty similar to the first lot view here. It's going to give you an aerial view of the map. But what's nice about this is that when you have drivers or sales or manager people logged in, you're going to see exactly where they're at on the lot as they're moving around. Just as long as they're logged in to LotMetrics, you'll see their name tag in here moving around. Now, when they're not moving a vehicle, they're going to have an orange name tag. But as soon as they pick up a unit on assignments, they're going to turn green. So it allows you to kind of see where everybody's at. A lot of the drivers don't like this feature because you can kind of see what they're doing. I've heard some stories of, people kind of getting caught hanging out in areas they shouldn't be. But again, from a manager perspective, it is nice to kind of see where the team's at. What you'll also get on here is some active metrics. Let me go ahead and go back into my manager profile here. So what you can do is you can put a date parameter on here. Let's look at like the last 30 days of activity here, and you're going to see like a driver's score. So in this example, Aaron Test, in the last 10 days, he had 10 moves completed, 10 assignments, and then uploaded 1 picture. So this is kind of good for coaching. If you're noticing that one of the drivers, hey, you're not adding photos like you're supposed to, you're able to go in here and get that information right here. This is also where you would go in and create, edit, or delete users right here. It's all self-service, password reset. There's no need to kind of leverage support. You'd be able to do all of that within here. Really easy to do to create a user. You simply hit create user and fill out this information here. We have 3 different roles inside LotMetrics. Manager is the highest permission set. You can basically do anything. You can create a new location. You can create units, delete them, create users. Next one down is sales. Basically from there, you can create units, but you can't have any information changed or updated on users. You can create assignments. And then the lowest permission set is driver. Essentially, all they can do is pick up units and take pictures. So you have the ability to assign those personas and roles to individuals, and then you could limit what market they're available to. So if you have multiple locations, you can kind of restrict the view from one user just to location A and not location B. And then the final thing I want to show you on here is the subgroups that we were looking at earlier. So this is where you can create groups of drivers, and then instead of assigning it to individual people, you can assign it to a group. So really easy to do to create a subgroup. You simply just go in and name it. So what a lot of dealerships will do, they'll have like a transfer team where they transfer it to like auction or somewhere else. So those are different types of assignments, and they don't want those going to anybody else. So they would create a transfer group name and then simply add in the individuals that they wanted to be in there. And now that subgroup is created, and you can see it down here. So now when you go back to an assignment, you can select, I want the transfer group to get this. Anybody that's not in this group, they can't see that assignment. So that's just another way for you to kind of manage the moves there. And instead of having to click in and find the individual driver, you can just do a group there. The next icon that we're looking at here is the scan feature. So once you open this on a phone or a tablet, as soon as you hit this button, it's going to pull up the integrated scanner in that device. And that's what you would do to scan in the unit there. And that brings up a good point. I'm showing you everything on here on a desktop, but LotMetrics is a progressive web app. So there's no loss of functionality for using this URL on a tablet or a phone. It's all the same. It's just scaled down for that version. And also we have a native Apple app that's available in the App Store, and we'll have an Android app shortly as well. Same interface, same workflow. It's just if you wanted to lock down access to the internet for your team members, they could use that native Apple app. And then finally, the last page here is the settings. This is more for admins, kind of the behind the scenes. This is where we would set up an API. Also lot locations if you do have a grid there. And then this is where we kind of build your market and get your map all set up right there. But at a high level, that is lot metrics. As you can see, tons of information, real time, and yeah, it's a great solution just for kind of, keeping track of that inventory there. So I'll go ahead and pause and, just throw it over to you all if you have any questions.
And that it's all integrated with the Motility software. It's like if you move it, it updates where it's at in Motility. Yeah,
so what it would do, as I was mentioning before, as long as you have like that lot table, the lot ID, like say you have like it in zone 2 space, whatever, just as long as you have that filled out and you have that in there, yes, it'll update that every time you move it with that. And that would be through that drop at lot location feature.
Okay, nice. All right. I don't really have any questions. I understood it.
Perfect.
Kennedy, do you have any questions?
I don't think so. I think you pretty much covered it.
And Josh, it's a little better just because he has, all the units set up here for sales, service, and rental. So you're able to see it. I know with my environment, you weren't able to see it. So
yeah, that's helpful to see it like that.
Yeah, and what's neat, like, this is a test environment, but as I mentioned, this is real time. So as somebody is moving a unit, you'll actually see this little dot move around on the screen. So once you are looking at a live dealership, it's pretty cool to kind of watch, from the manager persona, you can kind of see what's going on. And then if you do have your lot segment, and it's really nice to say, hey, why is this rental unit over here? It shouldn't be there. So, but again, it's why it's really important to kind of maintain an active inventory list, because like in this example, we have 5,000 units here, which is highly unlikely. So it can kind of junk up your view here. So it's really good. That customer pickup feature that we just released is great, because then just as long as it's in the workflow, when somebody's picking up that unit, just toggle that off or toggle it on, and then it'll be deactivated. So it's no longer going to pull in on the screen. You could go back and look at it. You could show, like right now, I'm looking at my inactive units, and you can see I've got quite a bit. But just as long as you keep this on active, that's all you're going to see. That's what most dealerships leave the status on here.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Is it possible just to get a quote to see how much we're looking at here?
Yes, and I can send you that in a few minutes. I can send you.
Okay. All right. Awesome. I think you answered all my questions and very thorough. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
No problem. And if you guys have any questions, even after we're finished here with the demo, feel free to email them to me and we'll be glad to answer those questions. Okay.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Yeah. You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.